We spent a week living inside Badlands National Park trying to find the top things to do in the area or the must-see activities. We tested multiple attractions that we found from websites, books, recommendations from other people, and here is a list of the top 3 activities we found that you should do in the park if you are there for a few days or just even one day. Number 1 is the Scenic Loop drive throughout the park. This is a 39-mile loop, and if you were to drive it straight, it would take you 1, maybe 2 hours, but for us, it took much longer than this. There's over 16 viewpoints that you can stop at along the way, and we definitely recommend doing this. They give you crazy views of the park and the Badlands and all of the mounds and peaks that are in there that you wouldn't get from the car. The road twists and curves with the land, giving you a new respect and perspective for the Badlands with how unique it really is. At some point on the Scenic Loop, the road is going to split, and you're going to want to take the way that has Sage Creek Road labeled. This is going to give you the best viewpoints for wildlife and other views that you wouldn't get on the Scenic Loop. It's going to be more grasslands, more hills that you're going to be able to see for miles and miles on. And on top of it is how you get to the Prairie Dog Town, which if you want to see prairie dogs, Badlands is the place to go. You can see thousands and thousands of prairie dogs without end to them pretty much anywhere in the park. Sage Creek Road is also the best place to spot buffalo or bison from our experience. On the Scenic Loop, we didn't see any until we were coming home late at night, but on Sage Creek Road, we saw probably 30 plus. We saw a herd way off in the distance. Weren't sure if they were cows or buffalo, but then we saw 3 or 4 of them within 10 feet of the road. We obviously did not pet the buffalo, but it was still a very cool experience, and we haven't gotten that close to buffalo since leaving the Badlands. Another small plus of the Scenic Loop, if you have a motorcycle or sports car, would be a fun ride to take on this trip. Number 2 on our list of recommendations of things to do in the Badlands is the Door Trail hike. The trail, if it's shown on a map, is only a 1/4 mile and it's all on boardwalk, but there is probably a 1/2 mile that you can take that goes actually out into the rocks of the Badlands. They're marked out by yellow stakes, and you just get to kind of roam wherever you want. This was hands down our favorite hike that we did in the Badlands because there was so much freedom you had to make. You could follow the path stake by stake or loop out 50 to 100 feet away from it and come back to the end point. The cool part about the Badlands is you can actually go wherever you want. There are no boundaries that you can go within as long as you're being safe and you're not liable for any injuries that you get. We managed to time this hike perfectly with a sunset, and we were able to see the sunset through what is called the door of the hike, just 2 of the mountains that formed a little valley, and it was beautiful. This is why it's number 2 on our list. Definitely a must-see. It can take upwards of 1 to 2 hours or 15 minutes if you're on a time crunch. Number 3 on our list is going to be a combination of the first 2 sort of. It's going to be viewing the sunset at the Pinnacles Viewpoint. Badlands has some of the best sunsets you'll ever see, but if you really want to get the full experience, you should go to the Pinnacles Viewpoint at the top of the Scenic Loop. This is actually advertised by the visitor center, and the park rangers recommended it to us. It's really a great thing to do on any night of the week. There's no specific timing that works better than the other. However, if you're going to do this, you're going to want to be more prepared than we were. We just showed up about 15 minutes before the sun set and struggled to find a place to sit and where to park the car. People were camped up here in their cars and lawn chairs for probably up to an hour before we got there to get the best spot. Not sure why this is, but the sunsets in the Badlands seem to last an extra 15 to 20 minutes than everywhere else, which is why bringing a lawn chair and snacks and drinks would make the experience just much more enjoyable and relaxing throughout the whole night. We were fortunate enough to be in the Badlands for multiple days, so we did each one of these activities separately on their own, but if you are in a time crunch, you can do them all in one day. It'd be pretty busy, but it is definitely doable. If you are fortunate to have extra time in the Badlands like we did, there are other activities that you can definitely go do. Something to note is there are only 5 actual hiking trails in all of the Badlands. Everything else is free roaming, can do whatever you want. Some of these trails definitely worth checking out, other ones not so much. Be sure to look at our other video where we go more in depth about everything we did every day in the Badlands to get information on that. Thanks for watching. We hope this helps with your next trip to the Badlands. Be sure to comment if any of these are your top activities or if you have other things that others should do if they're in the area. Also, be sure to follow along as we'll be posting more top things to do in cool areas around the country.